When people talk about poetic filmmaking, usually one thinks it's slow and boring visuals, when it is completely the opposite. Instead, films that use the mode of poetic realism have thoughtfully composed images with memorable sounds that linger even after the film. Filmmaker Lynn Ramsey uses features of poetic realism in all her films, but we see these styles most prominently in her 2011 drama thriller film We Need to Talk About Kevin. Ramsey received worldwide success and a huge critical acclaim for this feature, adapted from the book of the same name by Lionel Shriver. The story is about the relationship between a mother, Eva Kachadorian, who tries to bond with her son, Kevin. We see this one-sided relationship take a toll on Eva's parenting and how he constantly tests her patience by tormenting her, only to destroy her life, as we later see in this film. Along with the critical acclaim, the film was also a commercial success. But what makes this film so great? It is hands down the ability to portray subtext about social issues, which represents reality through the strong images and the details of this film. Ramsey understands the modes of cinematic filmmaking and brings a cleverly curated composition of artistic visuals, which blends within the narrative of the film, that uses the mode of realism, specifically poetic realism. In addition to the visuals, the sound also play a very important role in conveying poetic realism. The sound of the film is quite contrasting, but at the same time very memorable. It goes from happy blue tunes to a white noise to, again, a variation of some kind of drilling noise. To fully analyze and identify the film as a poetically realistic film, this essay will observe a 5-minute sequence from the film.
Good morning, Captain.
The heavy use of red here and the way it is splattered makes us think only one thing: blood. This scene particularly generates the meaning that the blood is something Eva can never escape, not in her past life or her present. But the blood isn't just the atrocity what Kevin caused. The blood here can quite literally symbolize her own blood, Kevin. Eva is on her way to a job interview in her present life, which for most is a normal thing to do, but her vandalized house and car with red paint smeared across is anything but normal. The framing of the scene gives viewers a sense of discomfort as Eva nonchalantly goes by her day even though her house looks this way. Rather than watching Eva, we're in this experience with her. Kun mentions that both soundtrack and silence signal a transition in thought and feeling to imagination or wonder. And this is exactly how we can analyze the feeling of these range of sounds. The happy tune at the beginning of the sequence sings good morning, which contradicts to how Eva's morning starts. It gives us a sense of uneasiness and makes her suffering more highlighted. In this scene of the sequence, we see Eva going into a travel agency and waiting in an office. The room is filled with silence while we see other people around her also of working class. According to Annette Kun, poetic realism seeks to look more deeply into the characters' experiences and emotions. Throughout the film, including this sequence, we see that the visuals are composed and framed in a way with slow and silent explorations of spaces, recurrent visual and auditory motifs, and a meditative mood of poetic imagination, all of which are key elements of what makes a film poetically realistic. She stares at a random honeymoon flyer at the travel agency, only for the viewers to see a flashback of Eva sitting at a desk at her old job. We see Eva running out of her office. Coincidentally, her office was named Escape, which is exactly what Eva is trying to do. Eva is pulled back into her present time as her name is called out.
Eva Kachadorian.
Her interviewer tells her,
Look, Eva, I don't really care who you are or what you've done. As long as you can type and you can file, you can have this job.
Oh, that's wonderful.
and gives her an uninterrupted stare. This makes the viewers question Eva's past. First the vandalism, and then the strange stare from her interviewer. The viewers know that Eva might have done something very cruel and wrong, and now she has to face the consequences. Authors Doughty and Etherington Wright mentioned in their book Understanding Film Theory that poetic realism is a filmmaking movement that captures real-life experiences. It focuses on the working class and often addresses a social issue, if not a reflection of the society. This is exactly what the viewers witness here.
Looks like someone's having a nice day. Enjoying yourself?
Sorry.
I hope you rot in hell, you fucking bitch!
The way the shot is framed, by showing these two women instead of showing Eva, tells us that Eva has hurt these women deeply. The discomfort of watching two older women punching Eva makes the viewers question, what did she do to deserve this? Even though later on we find out that Kevin is the one to blame, Eva doesn't feel so. This tells us that she feels guilty for what Kevin did and blames herself. Eva still sees glimpses of her past life and the day of the atrocity in her everyday life. It is another common trait in realistic films that highlights a person's psychological state of mind, as we see here. From thought-provoking visuals, sonorous sounds, to the feelings of a troubled mind, these are all combined to make a Lynn Ramsay film. Ramsay beautifully executed the art of conveying strong themes by mixing internal and external factors through poetic realism, which come together to form an inspiring film like We Need to Talk About Kevin.